It's an incredible part of our deen. And I want us to appreciate for a moment that we are the nation of prayer. We are the ummah of prayer. And let me tell you how. On the Day of Judgment, we know that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that I will recognize you by what? I know it's the last session of the night. This is when everyone's really tired, so I'm going to require interaction now. I will recognize you by what? Your wudu. Excellent. The signs of your wudu, the marks of your wudu will be bright on the Day of Judgment. And so make sure that you cover all of its spots. The places of your sajda. May Allah make us a people who bow their heads and humble their hearts to Him constantly, will be shining on the Day of Judgment. The one place, may Allah protect us from the fire, but that cannot be consumed by the fire, is the place of your sujood. It will consume every other part of the body, but not that. But now imagine that at a practical level on the Day of Judgment, the Prophet ﷺ looking through the ummah, and the Prophet ﷺ spotting his followers by their wudu, and they made their wudu inherently to prepare themselves for as-salah, to prepare themselves for the conversations that they would have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's on the Day of Judgment. When I say that we're the ummah of prayer, and in fact it is one of the most compelling proofs of Islam that we are the ummah of prayer, here's what I mean by that. If you go to any public place in the entire world and you see someone take to a corner preparing themselves for prayer, you would almost know for certainty right away that's a Muslim. When you go to airports around the world and you see the interfaith prayer halls, you know, we often get the complaints. In my city in Dallas, we have a interfaith prayer hall in every single terminal. And they're all musallas. It's not our fault. We're just the only ones that are praying. It's not our fault that the congregations are only happening on a regular basis by the Muslims. That's just the way that it is. And you go anywhere around the world, and I've tried this. Walk into the interfaith prayer room. Yes, sometimes you'll find a Christian. Sometimes you'll find a Jew. Sometimes you'll find someone of a different faith. But you know every time that the majority of the traffic to that place of prayer is going to be the Muslims. They will crowd it and they will keep it functional. And if you walked into a bathroom, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always keep us in pure places, and you saw someone putting their foot in the sink, you know that that person didn't just decide to wash their feet because they stepped in something. You know right away that's a Muslim. And it drives Islamophobes insane that in the Western world, that out of accommodation, and this is something we should praise, by the way, when it is there. You have to thank people. Whoever does not thank the people does not thank Allah. When they have that sensitivity and that sensibility, and they install foot baths or they install places of wudu in public places, honestly, it's a noble feature. It's a noble thing to do if you're not a Muslim, to show that type of friendship and that type of camaraderie to your Muslim brethren in humanity.